Hello everyone, it's me Jamie. Welcome to another reading vlog. Today we are going to be doing another one of my color themed weekly reading vlogs. Like I always say, there is no like set goal read for this week or anything. I'm not trying to read a certain amount of books. I would just love if every single book that I read this week was yellow. It had a yellow cover or something like that. I've already done pink and purple. A lot of you in the comments to the purple one said you wanted to see blue, green, or yellow next. We're going with yellow. I already had planned yellow when I filmed that purple reading vlog. But yeah, we're doing yellow. I've picked out 5 yellow books that I would love to get off my TBR shelf and get read this week. So let's talk through what those books are. My first and main priority, honestly, and what inspired me to choose yellow in the first place is, of course, Yellowface by R.F. Kuang. I'm obsessed with R.F. Kuang. The Poppy War trilogy is one of my favorite series of all time. So informative, so important, so impactful. And this, I believe, is Rebecca F. Kuang's journey into something a bit more contemporary, but I'm so excited. I haven't seen all that much about it, but I just know that it is about the publishing industry. It is a thriller. I'm very excited to see all the discussions that we're going to have in this book. This is definitely one of the main books I want to get completed this week. It's probably not going to be the first one I start with because I've read a lot of dark and like kind of scary books recently and I kind of want to move on to something fluffy, but this will definitely be like, if not the second, definitely the third. I will be reading this week. This is a promise. I've got 2 romances on here. I would love to read The Soulmate Equation by Christina Lauren. I've been wanting to read this for ages. This is a romance about like a CEO of a dating app where people use their DNA to find their soulmate. I'm actually going to be starting with this one. I'm going to start this one today. Christina Lauren, for the most part, are pretty hit or miss for me, but I do really enjoy some of their books, and this one I'm pretty sure is like their most popular one. So I'd be really keen to get this done, get this read, see what all the hype is about. The other romance I've picked is Love Theoretically by Ali Hazelwood. Some people will argue that this is orange. It's yellow. It's yellow. In real life, it's a orangey yellow. Anyway, this is another women in STEM romance. I don't really know anything about this. I think maybe friends to lovers, academic rivals to lovers. Not totally sure, but everyone's talking about this. It kind of just released, so I'm really excited to see what this one is all about. I actually really enjoyed The Love Hypothesis, so hoping to enjoy this one too. I also have Before the Coffee Gets Cold, Tales from the Cafe by Toshikazu Kawaguchi. I read the first book in this series back in October. Really loved it. And basically they're just a short little collection of stories about this cafe in Tokyo where you can time travel. All the stories are pretty hard hitting and quite sad, but I really loved the first book in the series. I thought it was just beautiful. So I feel like this would be a really nice short book to break up some of like the other bigger reads during this week. And then I also picked out Grown by Tiffany D. Jackson, another book that kind of inspired me to do yellow because a lot of people have told me that this book is amazing. Ever since I picked it up from a secondhand bookstore earlier in the year, everyone was like, Jamie, you need to read it. So here I am, I'm reading it this week. This is YA, and I believe it's a thriller, like murder mystery, but our main character is an up-and-coming R&B singer. I'm really excited to read this. I've heard nothing but good things, so I feel like this will also be a really good one. So these are the 5 books I'm ambitiously hoping to get read this week, but I think I could do it. I think I've picked up some pretty gripping reads. So yeah, hoping to get through all of these. Like I said, I will be starting with The Soulmate Equation, but yeah. Now for the rest of the day, I still have many more videos to film and a lot more work to do today because I always start my reading vlogs first thing. When I have a filming day, I'll always do my like opening reading vlog clip first and then be like, anyway, I can't read just yet because I still have more to do. Classic Jamie, that is the case for today as well. So I'm gonna go film all my videos, and then I have a party tonight for Twitch partners in New Zealand. I don't know if I want to go because going out means being around drunk people and spending a lot of money and not reading, so I don't know. I was gonna go, but I'm not sure yet. I'm still kind of playing it by ear and deciding if that's what I want to do or if I just want to stay home, read, and hang out with the dog. Basically, until I make that decision, I'm going to finish working today, keep working, and then hopefully move on to The Soulmate Equation when I can. So I'll keep you guys updated. I hope you enjoy this yellow themed reading vlog, and I will see you very soon when I have my first reading update. I hope you enjoy. Okay, so I'm freshly showered. feeling fresh. I was just about to get ready to do a Twitch stream, but now my internet's fucking up, so I can't do it, which is really annoying. But I have a reading update. I started the soulmate equation and I'm on page 118 and I have thoughts. Okay, the plot. We follow our main character Jess. She is a single mum and she works in statistics. She's like a stat analysis. I don't really know the job title or anything, but she works in statistics and she is a regular at a coffee shop where this very grumpy man is also a regular, and his job is being like he's creating this like dating app, but it's all DNA and like you have DNA soulmates and stuff like that. And Jess and her friend decide to sign up to be like test subjects, and she ends up getting a 98% match with the CEO, who's this grumpy man. And so now, because she's recently lost one of her clients, she's a bit low on money, she's very stressed out, she basically gets offered to publicly like date the CEO for the marketing for this new app. The problem is they really don't like each other, even though they have this really high like match result. That's basically the premise. I'm on page 118 and I do feel like the plot is moving very slowly. I feel like it was very info dumpy at the beginning about this whole DNA system, and I do really commend Christina Lauren for doing something quite different, like, you know, kind of creating a whole new technology in their book. So it's not just like your typical romance, there is something a little bit extra with it. But I just do feel like the info dumping at the beginning, it's just moving too slowly for my liking. Like the beginning has been a little boring. I also, for some reason, I don't know if this is usually a Christina Lauren thing, I can't really remember, I cannot picture these human beings in my head whatsoever. I feel like the imagery and the descriptions, there's been nothing. And that's kind of, I think, what's disconnecting me a little bit from the story, because usually I can see the characters and I want them to get together. I can picture them in my mind. I just can't really in this one. I do really love our main character because I love what she's going through at the moment. She's a single mum, she's so strong. Like, we do know a lot about her, which for some reason don't know what she looks like. I don't know, it's very weird. I also love her best friend, who is a romance novelist. So she mentions all these things that are quite meta, like our male love interest River, the CEO. When we first meet him and learn his name, she was like, oh my god, that is an amazing name for a romance hero in a romance novel. I might use that in one of my books. And I like how meta that is, because I was also like, oh, nice name, Christina and Lauren, girlies, nice name. But yeah, I like those meta comments and stuff like that. Now that I'm not going to be Twitch streaming and I'm going to be, I don't know, having a quiet night instead, I probably am going to try and read more of this. I would love to try finish it tonight, especially because it's going to be a pretty fast read, I imagine, but I don't know if that's totally possible, but I'm certainly gonna try. The writing style right now, it's okay. Like this, I'm just finding the book okay right now. I am now gonna go read. I feel like it'll be a cozy night. I'm excited to do it, and I will see you guys soon. Hopefully I finish this tonight and can give you all of the updates. Good morning everyone. Okay, so I have a little reading update for you guys. While I was having my coffee this morning, I did read some more of the soulmate equation. I'm now on page 181. So again, not a whole lot to say that I haven't already said. I will say that the romance has kind of started up right now, which I'm definitely appreciating, because I really wasn't sure how I felt about River, the male hero, at the beginning, because I just didn't love his vibe. He just didn't seem very nice. Like, he seemed a bit grumpy, but not in a way that was like enjoyable or funny, just a bit boring and bland. I think sometimes I really do prefer multiple POVs when it comes to romance novels like this, especially Grumpy Sunshine, because when you don't really get that male perspective, you don't really get to see inside his head and see what he's thinking. It can just come across like he really doesn't like our female love interest, and so then I'm like, he just comes across as an asshole. Like, I just really wish this book was multiple POV so I could be inside his head and I could root for them a little bit more, because right now I'm just like, he doesn't even like you, babe. And it wasn't until really the 150 page mark that I was like, okay, yeah, I can see the spark, I can see the chemistry. When it comes to a romance novel, I just, unless it's like full on slow burn, which this is not, I think that we should be able to see a little bit of that spark and attraction before the 150 page mark. Like that's nearly halfway through this novel. I may just be being nitpicky, like I'm still enjoying the book. It's really like not that deep. Like it's just a fun little time, and I still really do like Jess and her child Juno. I really love their family dynamic, so I do love that she's the main character. I just wish it was dual POV, because that is my favorite. I always will prefer dual POV books, but especially when it's Grumpy Sunshine. I just need that like extra confirmation that like the male love interest who is a grump and who is not showing any kind of love or affection, I need to know at least what's going on inside his head. But yeah, anyway, it's just me at home today with the dog. Ben is at work, so while Zuko's sleeping now, I'm just gonna do some chores and some of the work that I need to do. But I definitely want to try finish this today, and I definitely think that I can, and then I can move on to my next book. But yeah, it's gonna be a pretty boring work day today, as most of my days are. But yeah, I will let you know once I've read more of this. I have like under halfway left, so it shouldn't take too long for me to finish it. Hopefully I can finish it this afternoon when Ben gets home. But yeah, I need to go do chores and work now. I will see you later. Hello everyone. Guys, I finished the soulmate equation. I just finished it this morning, and I definitely think the second half was much better than the first half. I found the relationship development to actually be really exciting and fun. Definitely not my favorite characters. Like I really liked Jess, do not get me wrong, but in terms of River, he's just not my favorite like romantic hero. So I think I'm gonna be giving this 3 stars, considering everything I mentioned about it earlier. Like I still feel the same way as I did when I first was talking about it, but the second half was definitely more enjoyable. Like I kind of sped through that. I was like, okay, yeah, this is fun. I think the third act breakup, because you know romance novels, most romance novels will have a third act breakup. I wasn't mad at this one. I think it was done really well, and because of the unique concept, it meant that the third act breakup could be really unique and not just relied on like miscommunication and like, I don't know, something silly like that. Like I'm glad it was the way it was, and I feel like that actually made the book really exciting. Like I think the third act conflict in this, it made the book better, I think. Usually I hate a third act conflict, but this was really good. Now I'm quite scared, because we're gonna move on to my second book, and I've decided it's finally time. I've had a lot of comments asking when I'm gonna read this, and now is the time. I'm very scared. I'm gonna start this right away. I feel like I'm probably gonna try and spend most of the afternoon reading this. I'm trying to keep my expectations low just because this is one of my most anticipated books of the year, and if I'm really hyped for it, I don't want to be disappointed, and I really don't think I will be. Like I really do trust this author. I trust Rebecca F. Kuang, but yeah, I'm scared. We're gonna start Yellowface. Definitely a really big change of pace from like a really easygoing romance, but it's time. I'm just gonna feed my dog, give him his lunch, and then straight away move on to this. And yeah, like I said, I'm nervous. Amazing news, everyone. Amazing news. I am on page 58 of Yellowface, and I'm obsessed. I am fucking obsessed with it. From the first page, I was like, oh, here we go. Immediately 5 stars. Like, I'm almost emotional with how I'm feeling about this. Like, it's been so long since I have felt this way about a book from the first page. Oh my Lord above. I have a lot to say. I have a lot to talk about. I'm gonna go into my office and talk to you about it because I'm lying in a comfortable position right now. I did not think this through when I turned the camera on. Let's go to my office, hang on. Hello. So, like I said, page 58, chapter 5 of Yellowface. And basically the story follows our main character June. She is the narrator. We're hearing it all from her perspective. She is a failed author I think, and she went to Yale with another character called Athena, and June is white, Athena is Chinese. Basically, once they graduate, Athena kind of rockets straight to literary stardom. Very, very successful author, whereas June has like a failed debut, is feeling very down in the dumps, and she is Athena's only friend that we know of. However, she kind of hates Athena. She's very, very envious, very jealous. Athena and June are having drinks together when Athena tragically dies unexpectedly. June sees the manuscript for Athena's newest novel on the desk, which Athena was very private about her work, so no one's seen it, no one even knows what it's about, and June steals it. And then she decides to send it to a publisher and publish it as her own work. I have no idea where the story is going to go, because surely June can't get away with this. But what I love about this novel is that from the get-go, we just get into it. No faffing about, no really annoying exposition, no information dumping about our characters. We just get straight into the story. So the pacing already, I'm like, I'm a fucking fan. Like, we are into it. I just think Rebecca F. Kuang is very, very talented, and oh my gosh, it's just, there are so many things that I'm picking up on that are just so great. First of all, it's first person narration, and June is definitely an unreliable narrator. When she's talking about Athena, she's kind of painting Athena as a very insufferable friend and person, but I know that Athena must not be like that, because the unreliable narration, I can see it from immediately. And what is incredible is that June feels like such a real person, and we know that Rebecca does not have the same mindset as June does, nor the same life experiences, but June feels so real. So the craft in this novel, it's the writing, it's just so expertly done. Obviously, like I said, I'm only on page 58, so I still have a long way to go, but that I just trust that like the novel is gonna stay that way. June is so racist. Like, some of the stuff she says, like, she feels like a real person, and some of the stuff she says, like, I've heard that out in the wild before. I have heard that from white people that I have met before. There was this whole passage, let me read it out to you. This is on page 5. So of course Athena gets every good thing, because that's how this industry works. Publishing picks a winner, someone attractive enough, someone cool and young, and oh, we're all thinking it, let's just say it, diverse enough. I have met so many people like that. Like, when I went to drama school, I was surrounded by other white people. This was back in 2018. You know, a lot of the white people that I went to drama school with, they would kind of complain about being white, because they were like, oh, the film and television industry now is only wanting to do diverse stories, which of course is amazing, but like, you know, kind of puts us in a difficult place. I remember being in class and being like, side eye to those people who I'm pretty sure are still complaining about that shit now. Like, and I remember all of our drama school tutors being like, right now is the worst time to be a white man. Is there any worse time to be a white man? Let's be honest. Like, you know, it's that commentary that white people have, where they feel like if a POC is successful, it is the absence of their own success, which is absolutely just such a fucking joke. And I'm really, really loving that Rebecca F. Kuang is commenting on it, because I have just met far too many actors. This is the industry that I'm in, so obviously that's what I'm talking about. I've met far too many actors who are just so insecure by non-white people getting the roles that they think they deserve, and like POC stories being told, because they think that it's an absence of like white stories being told, as if that's not like the majority of the fucking media that we see. June is such a nasty character, and she feels real because all of the stuff that she is saying is stuff that is said by white people on a daily fucking basis. Oh my god, I'm just so excited for all of the themes in here, and just for the way the story is going to progress. The characters already are so real, and it's really funny because some of the criticisms that June has on Athena's work, I swear to god I have seen the same criticisms about Rebecca's work. Let me find one. Okay, so June has stolen Athena's like latest novel, right, and is passing it off as her own, and she's adding some stuff. Like, the novel was probably 90% done, but she's added her own things, and you know that she's in the editing process, so she's changing some stuff up, and she's talking about what she's changed. And there's this one passage where it's like, we also soften some of the white characters. No, it's not as bad as you think. Athena's original text is almost embarrassingly biased. The French and British soldiers are cartoonishly racist. I get she's trying to make a point about discrimination within the Allied front, but these scenes are so hackneyed that they defy belief. Immediately I just thought of that god-awful one-star Babel review where this white person was like, I felt bad to be white reading this book. It just reminded me of that, and the fact that like Rebecca has taken those criticisms that she has seen of her own work and put them in here. It feels so self-referencing. Like I love this novel. I have been such an avid Rebecca F. Kuang fan ever since I first touched the Poppy War back in 2020. Fell in love with it, and I'm just loving this so much. And like, even it's so clever. Like Athena also, there's this one line at the second page already. I was like underlining and annotating on the second page. There's this one point where it says, Athena is so stupidly, ridiculously successful that it makes sense she wouldn't want to mingle with mere mortals. Athena in Greek mythology is the goddess of wisdom and craft. Are you kidding me? I'm really excited for all of the themes that we're going to get here. I have just no idea what to expect. Chapter 5, no idea what to expect. I have so much more. I feel like I'm not going to be able to put this book down for the next 24 hours. But unfortunately, I do have to take Zuko to puppy school very soon, so I'm going to get my laptop out and do some work, reply to some emails, post some general admin posts on Patreon because it's the 1st of August, so new Patreon month, new month in general as well. But yeah, I do need to do some admin work, so I'm gonna like zoom through, try get that done as quickly as possible so I can just go straight back to this because I'm obsessed. I've been talking about it for over 10 minutes. Oh my god, I will talk to you guys later. Just know this is the best book I've ever read and I've only read 58 pages. Good morning everyone. I've just woken up. I've made myself a coffee and I'm ready for a busy day. My friend Yana is coming over tonight and we're gonna do a stream together, and I'm gonna film some videos today. I really need to film my July wrap up, but oh my god, I'm so tired because I was up till, I kid you not, 2 AM. I have 50 pages left. I wanted to keep reading, but I was like, you know what, I'm gonna save it for the morning because I want to be like fully awake. I want us to have a good day. So why not start my day off with finishing this? It's addicting. It is so immersive. Our main character June is fucking insane and unhinged, but I love being in her head even though I hate her as a human being. I'm just gonna finish this and I'm gonna give my full review, but just know it's definitely gonna be a positive one. I'm obsessed with it. I'm gonna finish the final 50 pages with my coffee right now and I'm very excited. Hello everyone. Okay, ignore this. I haven't even touched my appearance today because I have been so immersed in Yellowface and I finished it, and one of the easiest 5-star ratings I've ever given. I just felt like it was so excellently crafted. I genuinely believed everything was happening. Like if someone was like, oh, this is a real event, you know, this is like really happened, I would believe you just based on how this is written. It felt so real. It says on the back like darkly funny and everything, and like I didn't really have any like laugh out loud moments, but I really enjoyed the satirical nature of it all. Obviously, of course, I looked up some Goodreads reviews afterwards and I feel like it's getting quite mixed reviews, which I find very interesting. I've seen a few criticisms where people say that like it was really annoying to read because like the main character was awful, blah blah. That is the point. Like of course the main character is awful. I was never once rooting for her, but like I don't need to be rooting for a main character. I kind of love watching their fall from grace and their downfall if they are like a bad person. I found that like really fun. I love an unlikable main character. I love a villain and I love being inside their head and being like at every like bad thing that goes wrong for them. I've seen people say that it's like too self-referential and they feel like they can't remove R.F. Kuang's voice from the narration. I personally also love anything that feels self-referential. I really like that it's pretty meta. I like that they talk about Goodreads reviews and like booktubers and book Twitter. I found that really enjoyable and it was nice to see like that side of the internet and that side of the publishing industry and the book industry through an author's lens. Obviously June doesn't represent any of like R.F. Kuang's like beliefs and personality. I mean, I don't know R.F. Kuang's personality, let's not get parasocial here, but like it doesn't represent her beliefs obviously, but it was still really interesting to read about like that side of the industry through, yeah, like an author's lens. June was just so unaware of her privilege and some of the stuff that she said, like I have heard people say in real life. Like it's absolutely ridiculous, but it was so witty. The book was so witty and I just really loved it. I love satire. I genuinely love any sort of satire on social issues or anything like that. I love a satirical nature, and this book was just so wildly entertaining. I really loved it. It's so not what I expected from R.F. Kuang, especially because, you know, I've read the entire Poppy War trilogy, I've read Babel, you know, those are fantasy with historical elements, you know, they reference real life while also having that like fantasy side of things, and I just never could have expected her to come out with this next. Like, it's so wildly different, but it just is such a showcase of her talent and her range of what she can write. I'm really excited to see what she does next. This was just so excellent. So that's a 5 stars from me. Absolutely loved it. I said before that I was going to do like some filming today, but it's a really rainy day. It's been raining on and off, and the lighting is just horrible in my eyes. So I'm actually going to spend the rest of the day reading, which I'm really not mad about. I'm on such a roll now. It's like not even midday, I don't think, or maybe it's just midday. So I have the rest of the afternoon to read before Yana comes over. I think I'm going to go very different and maybe read Before the Coffee Gets Cold, Tales from the Cafe by Toshikazu Kawaguchi, which is a collection of stories. It's not like a short story collection, it's not an anthology, even though a lot of people describe it as that. It's more just like interconnected vignettes of people going to this cafe and the reasons why they want to like travel back in time. I really loved the first book. This is the second book in the series, so this will be very different, and I'm kind of excited for that. I'm really excited to pick up something new, but just as good, hopefully. I really enjoyed the first book. Yeah, again, I'm gonna get cozy in bed once again and start this. I'll let you know how it goes. I'm hoping to cry, but I don't know if I will. I didn't cry last time, but I love crying in books. That is a fact. I'm gonna get started. I'll let you know how it goes. Hello team. So I've just finished doing my stream. Yana has been and gone, and I have a friend that's doing another Twitch stream. She's doing reading sprints, so I think I might join them in a second. But I just want to update that during the day I did read the first chapter of Before the Coffee Gets Cold, Tales from the Cafe. And the first chapter is like the first kind of story basically, and it was about a man who is not connected to any of the other characters in the story so far. In the first book, like the stories were all kind of somewhat interconnected, but this man basically lost his best friend and then basically adopted his best friend's daughter, and now her daughter's getting married, and he just wanted to like go back in time to tell his best friend. So very bittersweet, and that's kind of like the vibe of the whole novel. Every story is, you know, somewhat heartbreaking but still really pure, like at its core. Didn't cry yet though, have not cried, even though like in theory it's very sad. But I guess I'm not a crier when it comes to these books. I see it for what it is, which is just like very genuine and sweet, even though the circumstances themselves are, you know, more tragic. But that was just beautiful. Again, like falling back into this book, I'm just obsessed with the writing style. I really love how melancholic it is, but still has a lighter tone. It's not super heavy-handed. Already just feeling so good about this book, much like I felt about the first one. Yeah, I'm moving on to the next chapter now, which is Mother and Son, and I feel like that's gonna be very heartbreaking. But of course, I cannot wait to get more reading, so I'm hoping to get this book done tonight, but it is 11 p.m. so we'll see. I mean, like, it's a pretty easy fast read, but we'll see if I can get it done tonight, and then I can maybe start another book tomorrow, but we'll see. Until then, so far so good, and I'm gonna keep reading. Okay, apologies if you can hear a car alarm. It's been going on for about 10 minutes and I do actually need to film before all of the lighting goes away. Anyways, I finished Before the Coffee Gets Cold, Tales from the Cafe. I ended up kind of zooming through it, to be honest. I finished it last night and I think I'm gonna give it a 3 stars, just because while I really do love this series and I love these books, I love the writing style, I do find they get fairly repetitive. For example, in every single chapter in here, following different characters who go back in time, we hear the rules explained every single time except for maybe the last one. And for me, it's like, I've read the first book, I know exactly what the rules are with this time traveling cafe, like back to front. I don't need it explained to me every single time. and I just feel like the stories end up being very formulaic. We follow kind of like the same story structure, and yeah, I don't know, I still really do love it, and some stories really did pull at my heartstrings, but yeah, it just does get a little bit too repetitive, so I find myself kind of zoning in and out of some parts of the story. But my favorite parts is like the lore of this cafe and the individual characters that work at this cafe. We do get to hear about them, as well as the characters that come in that are like kind of separated from the universe, and like the characters that aren't connected to anyone in the cafe. I just love hearing about like the family that runs the cafe and all that sort of stuff. So that definitely was really, really nice. But yeah, I will be giving this a 3 stars. Anyway, that does bring us to the end of the week. It has been a week now, and I managed to read 3 yellow books for this reading vlog, and I feel very, very good about it because we got a 5-star. We got a 5-star this week, and I'm so excited for that. So let's do a really quick wrap up. First of all, we read The Soulmate Equation by Christina Lauren, and this was definitely a bit of a triumph for me because I've been wanting to read this for ages, and it's just been sitting on my TBR bookshelf, and so now I finally gotten it done. But I did give this 3 stars. Now that I'm talking about it, it's literally been like, you know, less than a week since I've finished this, and I'm like, why did I give it 3 stars? Oh, that tells you all you need to know. That tells you all you need to know, that I can't remember too much of it. But yeah, I did give it 3 stars, just I guess for the reasons that I mentioned earlier in the vlog. Anyways, I also read Yellowface by R.F. Kuang, which I gave 5 out of 5 stars. I thought it was amazing. I know that there are some conflicting opinions going around about this at the moment, but I think, you know, for me, none of the problems with it lie within the book. It kind of lies within the marketing. So 5 stars. I still love this, even after seeing everyone's kind of like 2-3 star reviews, and some other 5-star reviews as well. I still love it. 5 stars. Gorgeous. Loved it so much. And then finally we finish with Before the Coffee Gets Cold, Tales from the Cafe, which I gave 3 stars, as I just spoke about. Anyway, yeah, here are the 3 books that I read this week for the Yellow Books reading vlog. I really hope you enjoyed this vlog, guys. I had such a good time reading these novels. Let me know what color you want me to read next. I honestly love these vlogs so much. They've slowly become like a favorite kind of staple on my channel, even though I've only done 3 of them. I love them. I want to try get through like a whole bunch of colors on my bookshelf. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. Of course, a cheeky reminder that all my socials are linked down below, so if you want to follow me on Bookstagram or Twitter or anything like that, all those links are in the description box, and so is the link to my Patreon. So if you do want more exclusive content from me, all of the information is on the page. But yeah, guys, again, thank you so much for watching. I love you all, and I'll see you very soon in the next video. Bye.